Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and in this video I'm going to do something I've never done before. I'm going to show you the equipment that I use to make my videos. And dealing with this equipment and equipment failures is one of the biggest hassles that I have to deal with in keeping up my YouTube channel. So let me show you my equipment and I'll explain to you what it is and some of the problems I've had with them. Number one, of course, is the cameras. And I always use Sony Handycam cameras. This one was my original camera. I used it for quite a few years before I started my channel. And then I used it for about a year, my first year in doing my videos for my channel. And then it started to give me trouble in focusing, especially when I changed the zoom. It would take way too long to focus, and then when I would change the zoom, it would take so long to focus it just became unusable. So I had to get a new camera. So I got a new Sony Handycam, which is the model HDRCX455. And I used it for a couple years, and then I started having trouble with it focusing as well. And that's the main thing that goes bad with these cameras, is maintaining a focus, especially when you're zooming. It will just lose the focus. So this camera I actually sent in for warranty repairs 3 times. And the second time I sent it in, they fixed the problem, but then something else they broke while they were fixing it. So I had to send it in a 3rd time. And since my original camera I couldn't use, I had to get a substitute camera to use while that one was in for repairs. And Sony has only one warranty repair center, which is in New Jersey. So you have to mail it to them. It takes them 10 days or so to fix it, and then they ship it back to you. So I would be a few weeks without a camera. So I bought this one to use in the meantime while that camera was off to the warranty center. And this is a Canon, and it is okay. It's not near as good as the Sony, but it's a good substitute. And these Sony cameras cost about $400 each. This one was about $200. And the camera that I'm using the video with right now is an exact duplicate of this one. When I finally got this one back the last time from warranty, it's again started giving me some more trouble. It was working okay, but once in a while something would go wrong. So I bought this duplicate of this one as a backup. So now I'm using my new one all the time, and now just using this one as a backup. Now, one important thing with the cameras is the zoom. You may have noticed in some of my videos I do a lot of real long distance zooming. This camera is a 55x zoom. The Canon is a 57x, and this one and the one I'm holding right now is a 60x zoom. The 60x zoom is just ideal. I really wouldn't want anything less. Even the 57 is a big difference between zooming in, 57 versus 60. And also with this one, not only is it not zoom in quite as close, but when I try and just use it as a wide angle, it doesn't go quite as wide as this one does. So I really kind of have to back up on this one, maybe further than I can actually hold the camera to really get everything in. Now, all of these cameras have battery chargers in them. And this is the battery charger for the Sony. You plug it into the wall like that. But I normally use this battery charger that plugs into the wall like that. And this camera I can still use as a battery charger. That's about all it's good for, is charging batteries. But this is more convenient for me to use. Now the batteries just snap onto the back like this. And there are 3 sizes of batteries. This is a single, and this is a double, and this is a triple size. And the triple size ones are kind of bulky. When it's on the camera, you can see how the battery takes up a lot of space, and it's pretty heavy. But I much prefer these triple size batteries because they will last for several videos. Whereas the smaller batteries, they will only last maybe 1 video, and I often will do 2 videos, sometimes 3 videos in a day. Another thing is that my original camera and the Canon use one of these regular SD cards. Now the new Sonys use one of these real tiny ones. So I do have to keep some of those spares on hand. I always want to keep one with me because when it gets filled up, if I'm out someplace on location and the card gets filled up, I'm kind of stuck. So I need to keep spares of those on hand. Now one of the problems with all of these cameras is that the microphone is right here, and it is not an omnidirectional microphone. So it will pick up sound very well, anything in front of the camera, but when I'm behind the camera and doing my narrations, it doesn't pick up my voice very well at all. It will be a very low volume and just kind of muffled. So to get a good volume of my voice, I have to use an external microphone. So this is what the microphones look like. This is just a lapel mic, and there's a battery in here, and all of the microphones that I use have to be battery powered. I've tried the ones that are just simple corded mics that don't use a battery, and it just will not work at all. That's kind of been a problem. And all of these microphones, external mics, they will come with a 20-foot cord when I only need at the most 3 feet, just between my shirt pocket where I keep the microphone, and then when I hold my camera out to the full length of my arm, that's only about 3 feet. So I have to take all of this 20-foot of wiring and just fold it up and then just stuff this whole thing in my pocket. And I have gone through a lot of these microphones. They tend to only last for 6 to 9 months. And the big problem is that this piece that plugs into the camera, right at the point where the wire comes into this piece here, it tends to just break off. Just from all of the moving around and use, it's just like any wire that you go back and forth and back and forth. Sooner or later, it's going to break. So what I do is I fold it up like 3 times, and then using the black electrician's tape, I tape it up together to try and protect that connection right there. But eventually, it still breaks anyway. So I have gone through so many of these microphones, and I've been in situations where my microphone goes out, and when that happens, I get very inconsistent audio in the volume, and then it just cuts in and out. And you may have noticed that in a few of my videos where I have been putting up with that until I can get a new microphone. And the only place where I've been able to find to buy these external microphones is Amazon.com. I have been to so many camera stores and other electronic stores, like Best Buy and places like that. Nobody has them. I have not been able to find these in any store anywhere, so the only way I can get them is ordering them through Amazon. And another problem is that where the microphone plugs into here, when I want to close the door here, that's as far as it will go. And sometimes I want to carry this whole camera in my pocket, but I can't do it without removing the microphone connection. So I got some of these, so I can plug that into here and then plug this into here like that, and that allows me to shut the door much tighter than it being hanging open like that. Then I've got some of these windshields to put onto the microphone, and those things will easily fall off or blow off. So I've had to actually glue them on to the end of the microphone, and once you glue it on, it's there for good. So until I figured that out, I lost a few of these, so I keep some spares on hand. So now I always keep a spare microphone on hand, but there's been times when the two microphones I have, they both have gone bad. And then I'm kind of really stuck, because in doing my narrations, like I said, it doesn't come out very well at all without an external microphone. Now, I do have this little tripod that I do use on occasion when necessary. It's kind of rare. I also have a full-size height tripod, which I've only used 2 or 3 times. One more thing I want to show you is my shoulder cam. You may have seen some of my videos where I'm riding my motor scooter and down some road where it's got some spectacular scenery. So when I do that, I use this shoulder cam where this goes on my back and this rests on my chest, and this straps around my back, and the camera goes on here. So this is what it looks like when I'm using the shoulder cam. And I really, really like this shoulder cam. Even when I'm riding down some rough road, it keeps the camera really steady. And when I'm going down the road and I'm turning to the left or turning to the right, it gives kind of a really dramatic look to the motorcycle ride. Now, in all of the other motorcycle ride videos that I've seen from other YouTubers, they use the helmet cam, and there's a couple problems with a helmet cam. One is that with the camera up here, you can't see exactly what the camera is seeing. But with the shoulder cam, when I'm going down the highway, I've always got a view in my viewfinder. I can tell exactly what is showing up on the screen. And the other problem with helmet cams is that when the driver moves their head just a little bit, it makes the video really jerky. When they go like this, when they're looking around. But the shoulder cam like this works really good. So that's my equipment. Just wanted to show you what I use in case you're curious about that. And the problems with the equipment, things are always, every once in a while at least, breaking down. You got to have spares of things on hand and replace pieces. It's really kind of an ongoing problem. So if you ever thought about having your own YouTube channel, just keep in mind that dealing with equipment and equipment failures is going to be an aggravation. And it can be quite an expense. Like I said, these cameras cost $400 each, and I've got 4 of them. I know some YouTubers use cell phones. No, cell phones have too many limitations to really get a good quality video. So I would never do that. I never have. So I'm curious to hear your comments about this video and my equipment. Good day, folks.